And I even didn't tell, but the fact that the boys in my family are really so involved in our periods. So like the first time I had my periods, because it was I had 12, I think, and the first thing my mom told me, it was like, congrats. And then the second was, let's tell your dad that you have your periods. I was like, what is this crazy family, like you have to ask to tell your father.
How was that experience, flying down, packing, and did you have an expectation of what you find in Kenya?
I don't know, I was like, maybe I will cry the whole flight. And also because back to France it's like summertime, like in July and August.
Yes.
So I finished school like in June and I began school in July. So it was
very fast.
Yeah, beginning of class was 4th of July. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't have like holidays. But I didn't know that my whole year will be holidays. So that's why.
Oh, that's a flex.
Yeah. No, I'm super happy. But I was. My two parents came to the airport and was like, so bye. We'll see one day. I don't know where I'm going. But like the first step I made like into the plane, I was like, okay, this life we are doing crazy.
Yeah.
And I think I wanted to prove to myself that I was able, like, to travel alone, to discover new things. And it was really, I have no idea of what is waiting for me, but something will happen, like something will be good, and we'll see that. I think first I had this, like, the common thought about like, but they need more water than pads, you know what I mean? Like it's on our needs, like it's eating and like drinking food, water. And when I saw that they were drinking milk, I was like, oh my god, like I cannot even imagine like the level of poverty I'm seeing here. And so I think first I was like, what are we doing, like bringing pads, like at the beginning, like the most bringing pads to like really poor, like I have never seen that in my whole life.
That lady who said she moved out of class because she didn't have pads and she sat outside at the play area until her periods were finished. That lady really got to me. I remember the other lady who said that she uses cloths, and so when the cloth is when she comes to school and she needs to wash it, they'll go to like the teacher's quarter where the teachers give them water, and then now she'll go sit and wait for it to dry, so that already tells you she's missing out on class. Hey Binti Tribe, welcome to another On Period podcast where we break silence around menstrual education, menstrual health and reproductive health in women in Kenya and Africa. And I'm here joined by my lovely, the Kikuyu in me is coming out. Lovely. Yes, the Kikuyu in me is coming out very fast. I didn't even want to cut that. Usieres, yes. I'm here joined by my Rave, my lovely, beautiful friend. Her name is Capucine. I've not butchered that name. And I just wanted to tell us what living in Kenya has been. You'll get to understand how she is amazing based off how we met and how her adventure in Kenya has been. I'd like her to explain all of that to us. Capu, welcome.
Thank you so much.
I know we call you Capu. First of all, I want bonjour.
Ça va?
Ça va bien, merci. Je suis, all of that nice stuff.
Je t'aime beaucoup.
Je t'aime beaucoup. Yes, I love that. I know you've been trying to teach me a lot of French. I did that in school for like 2 seconds and then I was like, I can't do this.
No,
it's intense. But I'm relearning French because of you.
I'm so happy for that.
So that is one high of my life that I want to say thank you. And thank you for first of all coming into my life and being the amazing friend that you are. And thank you for even accepting to be on our podcast. It's new and it's nice that you're here to even offer your perspective. So karibu.
Asante.
I know you know a little bit of Swahili, so I'll sneak in some Swahili in there. Tell us, who is Capucine? who is Capu, for all of us who know you as Capu, and yeah, how did Capu grow up?
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to finally be here with you.
Yeah.
Like I saw all the videos, I was like, I can't wait to be here. So yes, so I'm Capucine, but ni gumu sana in Kenya, so it's Capu. Sawa. So who is Capu? It's me actually. I've been here in Kenya for 8 months, and I'm still here for 2 months. Yes.
I won't even
we'll
cry.
not talk about that. So yeah, for my studies, because actually we have to do 1 year abroad to graduate. So that's how I'm here in Strathmore University doing international relations. Yes.
So before you came here, of course, you were born in France.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us about that. Where were you born? How's your family like? And I have met your family. Anyway, so yeah, tell us.
So I'm living next to Paris in a city called Antony. And we have a big family. I have three daughters and 1 brother. 3 sisters, sorry, not daughters. I'm not pregnant.
Daughters.
We are 3 daughters and 1 brother, so we are 5 with my 2 parents still there, and they visited Kenya a little.
Just recently.
Yes, so
that was so much fun.
I
thought I knew energy until I met you, and then I thought I knew energy until I met your family. And your family is awesome. They are fun. Oh my God, they're adventurous.
Very.
All the way from your grandmother,
even my grandmother,
your brother who's your last born, which is really awesome.
That's true.
How are you finding Kenya, first of all?
So I love Kenya. I think I will come back. It will be hard to live. And now I really wanted to have like the fully like Kenyan experience, not as like a Mzungu, but like trying to be more with Kenyan more than like the French community. So it was really important for me, and I think I achieved in a certain way by meeting you and a lot of people. So I'm really enjoying Kenya. Also because I'm learned Kiswahili, so I'm so happy to finally understand what we're saying in matatus in the streets everywhere.
We'll get to the bit of you getting onto a matatu.
We'll
first. How was it growing up for you in France? The city is close to Paris, so it's not like the heart of Paris. Is it outside?
Suburbs. It's like kind of it's like 30 minutes by metro suburbs.
Okay. How was it growing up with your sisters and your younger brother and your mom and your dad? What does mom and dad, what do they do?
Okay, so my mom is a radiologist.
A radiologist.
Yes, and my father is like, he's independent and he's like web designer. So he began when the year of my birth. 2004. Yes, because I'm 21. So they are doing completely different jobs. And we are very close with my sister and brother because we are not that far like in age. So we really grown up all together. So that's very cool.
How was school?
School was good. I think I love school. Like, I don't know how, I'm super curious. So I think I really enjoyed like having homework. Like, it's crazy, I know, but I was like, I'm so happy to do something. So I really enjoyed school and I was good at it. Like, it was not a problem for me. So I think it was easier for me after to have the school I have now and to do everything. So it was very cool.
How is the system? Do you go to do you have like a primary and then go to secondary and then you go to university?
It's exactly the same than here. So that's not too different. And it's really the same system. And at 18 you have your baccalaureate or you try to have it.
Do you choose where you want to, like what you want to do in high school, in university while you're in high school, or how do you get yourself into school?
So you have to specialize, like when you are like 16, something like that, you choose like some specialties, like mathematics or French or like literature, like things like that. And I've chosen like geopolitics and economics and sociology.
What?
So
What?
But it was very good.
Oh my God! While we are choosing Siari.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
So yeah, but I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I knew that I wanted to maybe to do law, because it's like you want medicine or engineer, like it's big, like field out, like topic. Maybe you want to do that. And I love justice. Like it was one of my big values since I'm a little girl. Like, because I think I'm the middle of the family, so maybe that's for that. I have never been like in the little part of my family or the big. So I'm always between two worlds. So I think justice was important for me. So I was like, I want to be a judge for like all the like children and women. It was my goal. But in France it's very hard. Like you have to do like 10 years of studies. So I was like, we'll see that. Yes. And after I understood that maybe it was not my
so
path.
You branched off into international relations. Okay. So, I love that. So this is a good question that we like asking people on the show. When did you get your periods, and how was that? Did you have a talk? Was there let's sit down and have a conversation about periods? How was that talk?
So in France it's the same, like it's an international taboo, I think. Like so even in France, if you are not in a family like with open mind and like open talk and not like discuss about this topic, like you're lucky. And I've been lucky for that. Like my mom, she's like radiologist, but she's also doing like ecography, you say that, for babies. So she's really, I have always been like grown with ladies, with girls. So I have 2 older sisters. So I knew what it was. And also my mom, like she loves the like woman, like the woman body, the femininity, like it's super important for her. So I think I've grown up with this idea of I'm so proud to be a woman, and like it's so cool, like to be a lady. You're so lucky. And so she's doing on her free time like training. It's like training with mother and daughters. It's called cyclo show. And it's like cyclo show. Like cycle, like the cycle and the show.
But
like,
but
it's not French, it's like German. And yes, she's doing that like with 15 couple of mother and daughter to just like literally like we're living all the show of the woman, like the emotions, everything in a like poetic way. So we did that before my period. And I'm always like assisting her in this program with girls.
That is impressive.
So that's why,
that is so impressive. I love the bit that your mom, first of all, is very open. I love the bit of the mother-daughter talk, because most times we get our talk in Kenya from schools. So if probably your mom is open like that, that's where she'll sit you down and take you through. And even if she does, it's not in the in-depth of understanding. So you're a woman, and making it feel like a lovely thing. It's just like you're about to get your period.
Good luck for your life. Like, enjoy.
And periods will get you babies, so stay away from the boys. So that's a talk that it's intense, and it is. Should I then be getting my period? So is that something, because now we've moved with you within Kenya and you've seen that, is there a difference with how we teach our girls here versus how you'd say people in, like, girls in France are taught about menstruation?
I think it's kind of the same. But like the fact, like the thing that I like in the way of you are doing, like with with Binti, is like the fact that you're not like just sexualize the woman body, like by saying you're going to have your period to have children. You know what I mean? Like it's always this tricky link, and it's not like just okay. First you're you're going to be a woman, and then we'll see for the children. But like when you are like 12, you don't even know like how your body is changing, everything. So I love the fact that we're not sexualized it, and we're just like saying, okay, so you're really like beautiful, that's your body, like how are we gonna cooperate together to understand like all these changes. So I think it's kind of the same. And in France we have some programs where like everything is mixed, like with girls and boys in the same room, teaching like periods for everybody, but not everybody is concerned. And you know, like this age of 14 where you're not really like comfortable with your body and with boys.
Yeah.
So that's I think it's universal. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Because even
a bad
here,
age.
we are trying to really incorporate the young boys into this talk,
Yeah.
so that they get to understand that it's not first of all a taboo, and it's your sister who's going to go through menstruation, and probably your sister will need you to buy her pads. You'll eventually grow up to be a dad, or a husband to, you know, to someone, and they'll need you to take care of them and to understand them even during their journey of menstruation, because this is a heavy part of our body. Yeah, I love that.
It is, yes.
I love that.
And I even didn't tell, but the fact that the boys in my family are really so involved in our periods. So like the first time I had my periods, because it was I had 12, I think, and the first thing my mom told me, it was like, congrats. And then the second was, let's tell your dad that you have your periods. I was like, what is this crazy family? Like, you have to ask to tell your father. And the first thing he told me is like, wow, it's amazing. Like, like you're a woman.
Yeah.
And with like, he was emotional. I was like, wow, it's becoming a big thing. Yeah. And I will never forget that. Like, it's huge to have a dad able to tell you you're beautiful and you're a woman, like welcome in the adulthood life, you know.
Yeah.
So
actually you're becoming an adult. That is so
that's
beautiful.
The way. Yeah,
I love your dad is on another level. I really appreciate how you've been brought up. Actually, for the guys, probably mostly in,
of course,
in Kenya or in the Kenyan family setup, the boys are told, or they are told, that the pads are like bread for girls.
It's huge.
Yeah, so
not
you don't have an idea of
what is it.
So why do the girls have their own bread?
Yeah.
And what is this bread, and why can't we all eat it together? And it makes it already look like that topic or that thing that you can't quite talk about. So you sharing that your family was, you know, involved, and your dad told you congratulations on becoming an adult, and you know, it's very different in terms of how Kenya is or Africa is versus how France now start to view
maybe it's an exception, I don't know, but
it is it's very real and raw. Actually, thank you
to you.
So I see you now go to high school, you finish. Your sisters have finished school, they have their own life, and then you have a younger brother who's behind, and your younger sister, and now you're choosing to go to school, to like university.
Yep.
How is the system there?
So here in Kenya, it's like 4 years and then a master of 1 year.
Yes.
And us, it's like 3 years of bachelor and then 2 years of master.
Yeah.
So that's the little change we have, but it's not a big one. So I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, law, it's too specialized. Like, imagine you don't want to do that at the end of the day. Maybe like do something more like wider, wider. So you can after that choose whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then I have tried to go to Sciences Po, so that's the name of my school. Sciences Po.
But so that's a big school.
Yeah, in France it's like political science. It's Sciences Politique, so it's Sciences Po.
Okay.
And it's a big school back to France. All our ministers, government are going there after. So that's a big one. So it's really hard to go there.
Yeah.
But I really tried, and I finally did.
Yeah.
And so 2 years, you have to do 2 years, and you have to specialize in one continent.
Okay.
And I have chosen Africa.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why. And each time people are asking me like, why this choice? Like, it's in France, it's not that common to be interested in this part. Like, we are not teaching a lot of things about like the differences in the continent and a lot of things.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just curiosity, and I was like, we'll see what
is this?
Yeah, what is this? And
waiting. Yeah.
I think because I have.
What was your other choice for the country?
For my country, it was Ghana. Was my,
okay.
Yeah. But first it was Ghana.
Yeah.
Second one it was Kenya, and I don't know why I didn't have Ghana.
Yeah.
So
you didn't want to go to like Asia. Where did most of your friends go to?
Asia a lot.
Okay.
Australia.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the two big
because they're probably
destinations.
Coming all the way down here, this is a change, and a big change. Actually, it's choosing discomfort. That's what I'd call it.
Yes.
Because if you have no reference of Kenya, of Africa, and you literally just jumping, it's also adventure.
It's a big adventure.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Okay. So you finish and then you come to Kenya.
So I did my 2 years like specialized. I had like classes on Africa, on the history of some countries.
Okay.
Also on East Africa, and then I for my third year I submitted my like all my choices. Okay. First one was Ghana, second one was Kenya, and that's why I'm here.
You found yourself in Kenya.
Yes.
Okay. So when did you come to Kenya?
In 14th of July.
14th of July last year, 2024.
Yes.
Okay. How was that experience flying down, packing, and did you have an expectation of what you'd find in Kenya?
I don't know. I was like, maybe I will cry the whole flight. And also because back to France it's like summertime, like in July and August.
Yes.
So I finished school like in June and I began school in July. So it was
very fast.
Yeah, beginning of class was 4th of July. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't have like holidays. But I didn't know that my whole year will be holidays. So that's why.
Oh, that's a flex.
Yeah. No, I'm super happy. But I was... my two parents came to the airport and was like, so bye, we'll see one day. I don't know where I'm going. But like the first step I made like into the plane, I was like, okay, this life will be crazy.
Yeah.
And I think I wanted to prove to myself that I was able like, to travel alone, to discover new things. And it was really, I have no idea of what is waiting for me, but something will happen, like something will be good, and we'll see that.
So you land in Kenya. Where do you go first?
In Kwetu. Yeah. The Kwetu residence.
Where?
In Jogo Road.
Oh my God.
I know.
Yeah. Not the safest neighborhood.
No.
But you land. You start class.
Yes.
How do you get to and fro?
To what?
How do you get to and fro to school?
By bus, the school bus, or by Boda.
No. By?
Boda.
Okay. I think the first time you told me that, I was like, you're doing what?
Sorry?
Yeah. What? Strathmore is all the other way.
It was so far
Jogo Road
away.
is all the other way, and you're commuting. This was your second day?
My first Boda was on the second day.
In Kenya?
Yep.
That is how adventurous you are. I think you told me. So I just used the border. I'm like, no.
Sorry?
No. The what? Yeah, from Strathmore all the way to Jogo Road. Yes. And I knew, first of all, there's an openness to you that you're yearning to see and learn in Kenya.
Yeah.
I'm not a border favorite. I don't think that's a good.
I know your heart will be like.
My heart
don't tell me.
Yes, that's actually usually.
I will kill you before the border will kill you on the way.
Then you start school. How is school in Strathmore? What's the difference between Kenya and France?
Actually, it's very different. So it's a big school in Kenya, like it's a private one. So it's kind of the same system.
Yeah.
But it's like also a bigger reflection about like people in Kenya. Like first day we arrived, everybody was so happy to see us.
Yeah.
And we were like just 4 Wazungu coming in a big school. So everybody always texting me, I saw you. I was like, I can imagine like every time. And people are so welcoming, like for real in class, you are never sitting alone. Like everybody is talking to you. Yeah. And even the teacher, I was so surprised, like you have group chat with like your teacher on WhatsApp. Yeah. For us it's a big deal. Like for us it's like the teacher is giving the lesson and then he's like leaving. Gone. So yes, for us it was like, what do you mean? Like we were like talking with him by WhatsApp even during the weekend. It was not by mail. Yeah. So I love this like formal but also respectful kind of way. And even like all the administration is very taking care of us. Yeah. Like it's a very good exchange between Sciences Po and Strathmore. Yeah. So everything like everybody is doing like their best for us to live a perfect experience. A good experience. Even with our classes, we managed to do like all our classes in 2 days and a half. Yeah. So we can travel and we can visit
get a
around
chance to see the country. I love that.
So that's cool.
So I think you first texted me 2 weeks after you had come to Kenya, and you said hi, a friend reached out, and I met someone on the journey, and she told me about you and Binti Pads, and I would love to,
Hear from
come
you,
and help you and see. And like, okay, Mzungu lady,
Let's
whoever
try
she
it.
is, let's see what. Yeah. And so at that point, we were supposed to go to Kajiado,
Yep.
which was the first trip. We were going to see some of the girls that we support, and I told you about this trip, and you were like, you know what, let's go.
No class today.
Let's go. Yeah. In
Yes.
fact, no class, let's go.
Yeah.
We ended up taking a 7-hour journey together. And I was like, I think I'll bore you to death, or you'll probably bore me to death, and I will never see you again.
Yes.
But we've talked ever since on a daily, and we probably see each other every other week.
Yep.
And you've become one of the integral parts of my life and of my journey, even in Binti. The 7-hour journey to Kajiado, was that, first of all, tell us what that felt to you, because to me that was the most emotional trip I ever took, and those girls really gave me a point of view, even me in Kenya, having lived in Kenya, understanding my privilege, but you come all the way from France and then now get to go to the interior of Kajiado. What was that like for you?
I think, when you grow up in a place, like, you have expectations, like, it's in your mind, like, I don't know how to explain, but you know Kenya, I know France. So when you told me we were gonna visit a school, you have image, like, projecting image of a school in France. Like, it's a very, like, normal way.
Yeah.
So I projected, like, a school in France, but in Kenya. But then when we traveled, like, the whole trip, even you didn't really know the real time.
Yeah.
And we left Nairobi during 3 hours, and then we begin the way, like, into the white, like, it was like huge. I was like, you're not gonna tell me, like, there is a school here. Like, first it was my first impression, like, where are we going? Like, am I kidnapped? Like, I don't know this language. Kidnapped? Yeah, like, what is happening? So yeah, first I was like, wow, this is a big way, like a long way, long journey.
Yeah.
And then when we stopped, and first we saw some people, like, that was another impression, like, just one child into, like, walking with cows. I was like, what do you mean? Like,
what are they doing?
Where are you going? Where are you living? For me it was like, okay. And I think we saw, like, as animals, like, as many animals as children in the way, like, it was huge for me to see, like, wow, we're seeing, like,
the zebras
and, like, little girl from 5. So for me, it was hard. Like, I was like, okay, I'm not ready for this day.
We're in the wilderness, for real. It almost felt like a safari.
It was.
Yeah. Like, we were seeing more of wild animals than we were seeing of children. And you're asking, we're actually going somewhere where there's a school where kids actually school.
And we saw on Google Maps, I remember, like, zooming and, like, seeing the school in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, I have too many questions. Like, we will have to talk during 1 week to debrief. I have too many things in my...
I remember I showed you of the Manyata, of the mad house that they stay at.
Yeah.
And for the whole journey, you couldn't talk.
Nope.
What was going on in your mind?
Like, to come back?
Like, the whole journey, what was going on in your mind?
I think I just needed time to realize what was happening, and also to say, like, I'm privileged, like the thing you were telling me. After I understood that I had, like, double privilege, like, first, living in France is really, we know that it's, like, a privilege in Europe, because like, it's easy life. Like, I have a family, they can afford everything for me. So I know that I'm first of all privileged, and then to see these children, I was like, I'm, like, 100% privileged. Like, it was huge for me, and it was just my second week. So I think my emotions were, like, everywhere. So yes, it was hard, and even to I was like, how can I help? Like, I cannot know the reality and do nothing. But I want to do it in a smart way. Not just going and giving food or like,
I get
like
you. Like, what's a sustainable way to keep helping them, as opposed to just, okay, I came, I gave you pads, and then now we are done. What's next? Okay, yeah. I love that. That was the first introduction of you getting into charity. Yes. Actually,
it was our first
Did you
one.
talk to your family? Like, did you tell them, okay, I've started living in Kenya? Yeah. How was that experience with them? How were they feeling?
Yeah, I sent a lot of pictures also of the like all the children and the school.
Yeah.
And I received also from my friends, like I did a lot of like story, just me talking, because I think I needed to talk, and they asked me so many questions, and it was so interesting to see like their questions, like their European questions on a Kenyan reality.
Yeah.
Like asking first day they asked me like why they are not like reusable pads.
Yeah, reusable pads.
Why you're doing that and not giving water. Like it was interesting to see like, oh wow, you're really not in, like you don't understand what I'm talking to you. And so it was hard to see like the gap, like the big gap between like Paris and like here, but not here, like in Kajiado. So all the questions I was like, oh wow. Even all the questions about like education, how important it is. Like for me it was like, but do they really need to go to school? Because they don't even know like Nairobi. You know, sometimes some children were like, where do you come from? Because they saw my skin. But I cannot tell them like France because they don't know even Europe.
Know what France is.
So for me it was a big step. Like I know that they are rising here. They will maybe like live for their whole life
here.
So for me it was interesting to see like education in the process, like how important it is. And because it will not maybe be useful, like to know like geography, everything. But yes, it was one of my
you were such a star to them. I remember we got there and it was everyone either trying to touch your hair,
my skin.
Or your skin,
and all the elders like, what?
And you were very okay, you are nice, but it's like, why are you doing all of that? And just trying to even understand that they've never that place we went to, if you remember, they had said they'd never even seen I think it was cake or bread. And it was such an interior place that they don't even have cars to take them to and fro. And they've never even seen a tarmac road. That was how bad that place was. And to get even our binti pads in there, and for those ladies saying, we are so grateful that if you didn't send this help of binti pads in 2022, we don't think that we would have still been here in 2024 learning. And that was one of the most emotional bit of that journey for me. What caught you with even the kids there? What made you feel happy, or what made you feel I need to change something, or I need to educate people back in France, or I need to do something different for these kids?
First, I think I remember we ask like what you need first, what are your needs, so we can know. And one thing the teacher said, it was like, so an organization brought us some laptops, but we don't have electricity, so we use them, and then we can no more use them. And for real, I was like, I'm sure they are all white, like all people are doing that, and they didn't even come on the field.
To the crowd.
So first, I think that was my, because not even children, I think it was like how crazy like human can be, like to not understand the reality. And I hate that like disconnection between people. So I think it was really hard for me. And the second one was like, it was not in a school time, like it was holidays. And you remember there are some women coming here for like because of the forced marriage and all these things. And I think I remember that, and the happiness of the girl seeing us coming just for pads. And they were like, you don't understand, like it's what really important for us.
Because the school is also a rescue center for the young girls who are married off at age 9. It's also a place where they run to when they're about to face FGM, which is another big like rampant thing that is happening in Kajiado. And so it was nice to just know that those girls have a safe place to stay. I don't know if you remember one of the girls telling us that one of the classroom is a class during the day and then transforms into a dormitory where they sleep during the night because they don't have a dormitory. And
crazy.
How does that even ring in your mind that what was that? And all this, that is just poverty. You've not even gone into menstrual hygiene, menstrual health, even the product itself. Those are things that they don't even get. What was running in your mind?
I think first I had this like the common thought about like, but they need more waters than pads. You know what I mean? Like it's on our needs. Like it's eating and like drinking food, water. And when I saw that they were drinking milk, I was like, oh my God, like I cannot even imagine like the level of poverty I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
And so I think first I was like, what are we doing? Like bringing pads, like you know, at the beginning, like the most bringing pads to like really poor. Like I have never seen that in my whole life. True. So first I was like yes, and then I understood with all the testimonies of the girls, like the boys like left, were just between girls, and I loved this moment where it was so emotional. Like I was like okay, and it was the first time with you. Like I didn't even know you, so I was like don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But Lornah cried like at first second. I was like okay, now I can cry. So and also because I think I'm really emotional with people, and you know I'm like a sponge, like I feel like emotions of people, and I'm feeling so bad. I was like I want to stay here like and just being with them.
How do I help
I will be
more?
so guilty to come back to Nairobi and then to France. So yes, the testimonies of all the girls like having their periods for the first time, like having to sit on the you know on the floor for the whole day. It was.
My God, I really took you to some rough place, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for that. It's part of the experience.
Yeah. That lady who said she moved out of class because she didn't have pads, and she sat outside at the play area until her periods were finished. That lady, I really got to me. I remember the other lady who said that she uses cloths, and so when the cloth is when she comes to school and she needs to wash it, they'll go to like the teacher's quarter where the teachers give them water, and then now she'll go sit and wait for it to dry, so that already tells you she's missing out on class. That was very intense. Them saying that they have to fight with animals every day, walking like 5-6 kilometers to go to school and back. I didn't understand how heavy, and in the same way you're saying you're feeling like okay, I'm privileged, and why are we just bringing pads here? Why are we not saving these kids? Like why are we not bringing the entire everything to them? The other school where we went, and they said they don't have water and they tap the rainwater, and if it finishes, the whole school migrates to go to another school to study from there, and that's also kilometers and kilometers away. Then you get to understand that the challenge here is beyond even just pads. There's so much poverty that how do you help? And then there's a lady from France who's your friend who's asking you, why are you not advocating for reusable pads? And it's such a it's a thin line where you don't know how do I explain the difference, because in France how much is a reusable pad? Because a reusable pad to you guys it's eco-friendly. It's a product that's sustainable. It gives the feeling of I am helping change the climate, right?
Of course.
How's that pad? How's the price of one product there?
The price?
So
for like how do you call it?
Is it like cheap? Like is it expensive?
It's still expensive. But at the end of the day, like pads each month, it's also a cost. So I think for 1 year you will like it will worth it, like equivalent of price. But it's like 30 euros for one. I don't have the word.
Is
like
it
underwear?
They're reusable underwear.
So like 30 to 40. And so yes, and even my mom, she's not advocating for it, but she uses it, and we talk a lot about it. And but it's something really common in France. More and more girls are using it. Because we still have, of course, menstrual poverty, but it's not like 65%.
It's not to the levels.
Like, of course not.
I like that you even know
of course.
the statistics. That's 65%.
And I think I looked in France,
and
it was less than 30, I think.
Wow.
So I think like, yeah.
What
So
a difference.
that's big. Because also I think in France it's like we are at a level of development where we can afford that and this price, but in the places like Cagiado, like we're not even getting water. So how do you want me to like wash in the milk? Like you're not getting, you don't have the image.
Okay.
So, yeah,
we can laugh, but
it's so but because we have to,
it's heavy. We get to keep recognizing our privilege every other time.
Everyone.
I love that you've been, I know we came back and you're like, Lornah, I want to fully be in Binti and I want to understand how I can come in and help.
Yes.
Reusable pads being 30 euros and someone actively buying that is very expensive.
Yep.
And while in Kenya, even a 50 shilling pad is already unaffordable. First of all, it's inaccessible, like the ladies can't get it.
Yeah.
And then now, even if they do have the money to buy, even 50 shillings, this feels like it's very expensive. And how would you explain that difference to, you know, a lady in France that, oh, I see what you're trying to do and I see you trying to, you know, tell us, why are you not using reusable pads? How would you tell them the bridge? How do you bridge that gap between what products or the poverty level here and what that lady would be pushing?
I think yes, there is like two challenges: the price and like the location, like where you can get them.
Yeah.
And the worst in this like explanation with my friends is more about like, you know, the like the place, like the general image of like, for example, a school in the middle of nowhere. So I'm trying to show pictures, but you know, pictures are not enough.
Yeah.
But yes, and to explain the costs and to explain like, you know, like I don't have all the numbers, but to say even, you know, in Cagiado, they don't even have M-Pesa sometimes, and they just change like cows with like milk or things like that. So I begin by that to be on the same level of discussion, to say like, okay, this is our like our base to discuss.
Yes.
So how do you want after that to have money to buy some pads, and then to find a place between school and between work of the parents to find pads. So that's how I'm trying to explain to them. And also like the image of no water and milk, it's like you can understand how bad it is in a French mind, maybe. Yes.
I like that. We've been to different centers to now for you to understand what we do with the girls in school, how we educate the community about menstrual health and hygiene, and when we do the donation of pads. And I've seen you so engaged with these kids and, you know, these women. How is that feeling for you?
It's like a special feeling. I have since I'm like maybe 12, I have always, I don't know why, I'm super linked close to children. And I know that I want to work for women. Like it's something I know. So yes, discovering like this, like going to schools, I love the moments we are like going together, like moments who are sharing. And also I love the fact that our event in Binti is not just I'm coming, I'm like awareness part and like donation part, and then we leave. Like it's a big day for the children, and it's like joy, a lot of music, a lot of dance, and I love the fact that it's really like my mom is doing, like it's really in a positive way, and I love that. That's why
we actually embody fun, bold, and beautiful in everything that we do at Binti. That's actually our vision, that every time we, like when we look back, what have we been able to achieve, that we have created fun, bold and beautiful women, and that's how women should be seeing themselves. So if you're already seeing that in how we even create, or we go to schools and assist and include the girls and make it look like a fun thing. First of all, trying to even just change the bit about how menstruation feels for girls, and even including the boys and dancing with them and making it feel like this is not a taboo. We should all be talking about it. Maybe in this journey, because you've seen us doing that, but you've also shadowed me in so many of my meetings when I'm moving around and being the binti boss. Yeah. What have you seen that has been, okay, what is that in terms of, that is shocking. I don't understand why that is happening.
I think first, business is hard. Like business is hard. Business in Kenya is very hard, definitely. And being a woman in business is harder than harder.
Yeah.
I don't have any words. But I feel like it was a good way for me to understand like all the business part, because I have no skills in that, so I'm super curious about it.
Yeah.
And to see how people are looking at me during meetings, even if I'm saying nothing during the whole meeting, I know that they will be more serious about the project than if you're alone.
Yeah.
And that was huge for me. You were the one telling me that like it's not always like that in meetings. That's how I know that it's like that. And even asking me no question, but like looking at me during the whole meetings.
Yes.
Because of course, if I'm white, I have maybe money, but
maybe to give a context to the viewers, being a woman who's in business is what she's saying is harder than hard. Is you can go to a meeting where you're probably going to pitch about something, even probably looking for an investor to come and invest in your business, and that person will look at you like, you're a woman telling me what exactly about business, and then you have to probably be accompanied by a man for it to cement that you're a woman who's in business that understands. But if a white person, let me say that, because we've gone to certain meetings with this young beautiful lady, and the people who I am talking to in terms of asking them to come on board to help me in projects do not even look at me or even the man that I'm with. They look exactly directly to her and ask her the questions, yet she's the, let me say, intern. She's the person who just accompanies us. So how that made her feel, because she kept asking, so why is that person asking me those questions after the meeting? That made you feel very off, and we had to sit down for a second and explain to you what that meant, that in so many ways being a woman in business is challenging, but they also feel like if they see some white person in that organization, that there's something more to it. And you can now start understanding even the bit about a woman starting a business here. It's quite challenging, and it's how would you bridge that gap, or how would you help women, or what would you tell even women who in France or even in Kenya, like what would you tell women?
I think also thanks to you, I met a lot of women like in business. So like even meetings with just women or events with just women. So I think like things will change. We just need time. Like people will understand that we're going somewhere. Even in France it's super hard. But in Kenya it's worse. Like it's harder. But I think just to say like go for it. Like if you have a dream and a precise like project in mind, you're amazing first because you have the project, and then we will see how to get there. And if it's by a man first, it will be by a man. Like it's okay.
It doesn't matter.
It's you have to be like very flexible and very comprehensive of all the challenges and all the issues about. And also because also in Kenya, like it's a common thing, like business is hard because of taxes, of everything.
And I you really understand in this space.
Thanks to you. Yes.
Good job.
So I think I learned a lot from you about all of that. And I have never like seen myself opening a business. But even if there is some challenges, I think I know how proud you are of it, and I'm like, oh wow, it can attract people to do the same, you know. And I know that thanks to your work and to the work of a lot of ladies, it will work at the end.
It's awesome. What do you want to do like when you grow up? Now that you'll be done with school, like what path are you seeing yourself getting into?
Working with Binti.
Okay. No. Well, you're always welcome. You know that.
I'm doing a master in international development next year.
Okay.
So I will try to have some basis in like economics and development parts. To do what, I don't know. But one of my goals is to work in NGOs or big international organization like United Nations or something like that.
Yeah.
And yes, if I can in Africa
Yeah.
and in Kenya, more precisely, it would be awesome. But yeah,
you've gotten a chance to travel to a lot of places here in Kenya. Where and where have you been?
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I did almost all the coasts, like from Watamu to Jani.
Yeah.
Not Lamu.
Yeah, you've not been to Lamu, but you've been to Mombasa, Kilifi. Where else?
Watamu, Jani.
Okay, Diani.
I did the south, Kidogo, like Amboseli.
Okay.
Tsavo.
Amboseli, Tsavo, yeah.
And I did also Mount Kenya with Nyeri, Nanyuki.
You've gone to more places than I have.
Yes, I know. Each time you're like, where are you going?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
Yes, but that's, and I'm doing...
How are you able to do all of this while school, while you also don't have a job?
Yep. So for school it's okay because it's like 2 days and a half. Yeah. Because we concentrated all our classes
within that time.
That time from Monday to Wednesday. And then aside I'm doing some lessons for students. Okay. So because it was important for me to afford my own trip. Like I don't want my dad and my mom to pay for my trip. For me it's like no. Like I want to be independent in that part because I'm enjoying myself. Like here, it's not them. like it's their work enjoying for nothing. No. So I'm doing some lessons to some students, French students here, to help them in their like homeworks and their stuff. And that's how I get some money. Okay. And then I'm
so traveling. You fund your own travel.
Yeah, that's important.
So you're flying out to different places in. You're flying out?
Yes.
Or how are you going to these places?
By matatu.
By matatu.
I know
by
you
a matatu. Who taught you to go to a matatu stage?
I don't even know when
how
was
do you
the first
get
one?
to a matatu stage?
Like the first time or the first time I think it was some friends that went to Naivasha once without me, and then they told me, okay, we'll show you. And then now I know how to negotiate in Swahili, how to not be mzungu in price. That was my goal. So yes, we are traveling with matatu also because we're students. So we, even if I'm white, I still don't have that big money to fly by plane. So by matatu, by bus.
How's the experience?
I love it.
Like for me, the one time you sent me a picture of some guy in the matatu who squeezed his legs all the way to your leg. I'm like, tell him to remove his legs. Sleeping. And you're just there like, oh, cheers, we're heading to Naivasha.
Yes.
No.
A long journey.
I think that's a free spirit where you have, where it doesn't matter, I'll squeeze with this man all the way up to Naivasha, but as soon as I get to Naivasha, the point is to see the animals and enjoy and be free and be happy and come back with an experience. Yes. What has been the longest journey that you've taken by bus, matatu?
It's a crazy one. Yeah. It's from Nairobi to Kigali.
What?
That one was big.
What?
40 hours.
40 hours?
Yep. But it was not matatu, it was like big bus, but it's still like a big journey. Like,
do you know to fly to Kigali is like 2 hours? But you know. Yeah.
I don't want to.
How was the experience?
Fun. Yeah.
How was the experience? And what's the difference? Because Kigali is another different country.
Yeah, it is. In Kigali, it's like more organized. Like, we have tickets to go in our matatu. So for me, it was crazy. Yeah. Like in Kenya, you just enter, you pay, we leave. Yeah. And in Kigali, it's much like structure, and you have one seat for one person. Yeah. That was another one big. So yes. But it was good, and I love because it's like places where you can meet people, you can talk a lot because you have a whole day to travel. Yeah. And so I think that's why I'm taking matatu. Yeah. Like I love to.
What was the craziest experience you've had in the bus or matatu?
I think it was when I went to Tanzania. Yeah. We were like everybody told us, okay, you take matatu, fine, but don't take them like by night. Yeah. Like it was the rule number 1.
Wow.
but it has been broken because...
Why was that?
It was in Zanzibar, I think.
Okay.
In August.
Yeah.
We had to do like the whole island in one, and I had like some chicken in my legs, and I didn't even know. So I was sleeping, and I felt something in my leg. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Maybe it's in my dream. I hope it's not in reality because I will cry." Oh, I will laugh. So I was like, what? And 2 chicken on like in my legs. I was like, okay, that's my life. It's okay, and I love
it. Do you have any of that in France?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No, for real. In public, like public transport, I think it's the biggest difference between here and there. In France, you know, everybody is on their phone.
Yeah.
They are running to have the right time, the right bus.
Yeah.
And here, when I saw that don't worry, it will leave when it will be full. I was like, okay, so I will no more run in this life. And people have time, like, you know, everything is like free. Like, you don't have to be worried about time. And yeah, so that's a big difference. And even when I came back to France just for Christmas, I had like anxiety, like to see people on their phone, not talking to each other, like on the subways, and having a precise time. Even friends waiting for me at a precise time, but I had the Kenyan time now, so I was like, oh my god, sorry, I have to adapt.
You actually talk about 2 things. You have the France time and you have a Kenyan time.
Yes.
What's the maybe say what's the good things that you've seen in Kenya? I know there are probably countless. And what's the weird or the bad thing that you felt, okay, Kenyans, you need to change this?
So there is a lot to say. I have to choose. First, I think it's like the you are more into communities, and us who are more about like individual. Like it's a big difference from Europe to Africa, if I can do the generality. Like you have your village, your families, and you have links between people, and you love to connect people. So you can invite someone, and he will come with like 5 people. So without telling you, because it's a normal thing. And back to France, you have to ask. If it's not like disturbing for the person, and so we're more like individualistic and more in like personal development,
independent,
and we have to be independent. It's our goal. And you have to be like more like connected to people and sharing a lot. Even for example, when you have money, you have to send some money to your families, and us is like your personal business. You are doing some money, so go for it and enjoy your life.
It's yours.
And here, when I heard some students from Strasbourg telling me, when we will have our business, we will send money,
support back our families.
For me, it was a big one. And also to see like you can be very close, like super easily to people, even with you. Like first time, 7 hours in a bus, in a car, we were best friends. So I love that. I think, and each time I'm taking bodas, each time I'm taking cars, like people are talking so kindly, like with us.
So do you think that's a perspective that they give you, or have you seen it in general, even within ourselves, like as Kenyans?
So first I thought it was like, you know, seeing a Mzungu in a Kenyan life, like it's quite disturbing, like, whoa, what are you doing here? So first I thought it was like just me, or and then I saw your friends. I met a lot of like group of just Kenyan, and me like being next to them, and I saw that it's a common thing, like, and they love to, like, you love to share, and even we went to your family, like second week we met, like for me it was crazy. And but I think I'm very linked to you in that way, in that way that I'm very like
even
sharing,
you as Capu, as a person, that's actually you.
I'm more into that than into
being
introvert or independent.
What's a bad thing that you've experienced, or traumatic experience that you've had, if you've had any, or what's a bad thing that you feel Kenyans need to change? So
the Kenyan time, I will not say that it's bad, because I think you have there is like good aspects and bad aspects.
What does Kenyan time mean?
Kenyan time is really like, you give me a time and I will maybe think about it, like when I Like you tell me go for 4,
Yeah.
and you will maybe leave your place like 2 hours away at this time. So for me, like the first time we met, even the first day, you asked me to be here like at 5 a.m. And I love to sleep, so for me it was really something.
Huge. Yeah.
And you came at like 7:30, and I was alone in Java house. Like,
you've never forgiven me for that. I'm sorry. So if you tell someone here, come to my wedding at 3.
Yes.
Well, they are telling you to essentially come at 5. That's how it feels.
That's huge.
So I'm sorry.
But that's good. That's good in a way, because you, like, if someone is calling you, you can go like, you know, you're asking me, where are you? At house? Okay, I'm coming. Like, you don't have a precise schedule.
Yeah. Also that, yes. It's
and
not
that's
so
good.
structured as well.
No. That's good. So you have time for like unexpected events and unexpected meetings with people.
Yeah.
So that's the good part.
Yeah.
And the weird part is that, like, when you have something like planned, if it's taking too much, of course it will like
it
last
loops
a lot
into
or
the next.
But it's not a big deal in
Okay.
So yes.
I love that. Yes. I think we love you. We really love you at Binti. We love having you. We love your experience. We love everything that you are. And I am so happy that, you know, you get to experience the Kenyan, and you get to experience it even with us. I know we're going to come to France and, you know, experience your life as well.
Of course.
And maybe a question that we normally ask here on the show, what would you tell your younger self? Well, you're young. But
my young one.
Or your future self.
I think I'm used to be like controlling everything, and to just say, okay, go with the flow. Like it's really, I was waiting for that in Kenya, and I think I found it, like the, you know, like you being confident in the future, and that's a big thing. Like you don't have any plan, but you will have, like, don't worry, you will meet some people, you will have the good contact to meet people, have discussion, and have and grown with that, guys. So I think it's like go with the flow, and don't be worried about not controlling everything. That's also good too, you know, sometimes.
Sweet. That is sweet.
So
love it.
Thanks to you, for real.
I'm so grateful for you being on our show. We love you. You are forever a Binti babe,
of course.
And a Binti tribe. And yeah, I can't wait for you to experience what's more about life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
I love you.
Me too, so much. Thank you.
So that was Capu sharing her journey and her story here in Kenya, and what her difference between Kenya and France has been like. And she's just started her life. I can't wait to see what's more for her and what is in store in life. And I am so excited to just have such individuals come to our show and tell us what's so beautiful about life and what's different. And yeah, keep watching, keep sharing, keep liking, and tell us what you want to see. Tell us who you want to see as the next guest. And yes, until the next time.